Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toaster Bros, and today we have yet another mini gaming PC. This one's from a pretty popular brand, Minisforum, and it has Iris Pro XE graphics on it, which should allow for some pretty decent gaming.
Big thanks to Minisforum for sending this mini PC over, but this is their TH50, which features those Iris Pro graphics Jackson mentioned, and I have some high hopes that it'll be able to play most games that you would want on a mini PC. But before we dive into this review, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Thanks to Amaze for sponsoring today's video. Stay tuned to later on the video to learn more on how you could win a Tesla Model X Plaid.
So this mini PC has the i5-11320H, which is a 4-core, 8-thread, 11th Gen i5 that has Iris Pro XE graphics on it. And the Iris Pro XE graphics are some of the best graphics out there. They're a little bit better than like the UHD 730, 750, and getting pretty close to Ryzen APU level performance.
And the model we have right here has 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 gig SSD, so it is the top spec if you want to pick this thing up, link in the description down below. But yeah, let's just not wasting more time, open this thing up again and take a look at it.
So after that really epic performance, this is the Miniforum's mini PC, and this is actually a design I have yet to see. So we actually have a little bit more of like a custom top to it. Normally these things all look the same, but this one they really outdid themselves. So we have an actual like white and silver theme going on with a really large grill and actually a white fan in there. It looks really cool. I feel like this needs some RGB. Maybe we'll figure that out. But we have a lot of ports on this thing, so let's go ahead and go over that. So in the front we have, of course, the power button, and then we actually have a headphone and a microphone jack separate, so no combo jack. We have two USB 3s, we have a USB-C. And then on the sides, we just have airflow. And then on the back, we actually have, it looks like another USB-C, and I think that's actually ours. Yeah, 19 volts, our power, so that's kind of cool, it uses USB-C. We have HDMI out, DisplayPort out. We have 2 gigabit LAN, they're actually past gigabit, they're 2.5 gigabits, so that's pretty crazy. We have 2 more USB 3.0s, then we have 2 USB 2s for some of that older hardware out there. So yeah, this thing's actually looking pretty good spec-wise. Of course, it does have some mounting on the back, so you can stick it on the back of a monitor, stick it on a wall, whatever. Great for conference rooms and all kinds of other things like that. But really, this one I think is gonna go beyond that, because the fact that you have this super fast internet allowing for you to use this as like a thin client or zero client, but on top of that, I mean, this thing just as a normal workstation can definitely get the job done in Photoshop and even some light gaming, which we'll just have to test.
We're just gonna have to cheat a little bit sometime and do like our own all-in-one PC by like just sticking that to the back of a monitor.
We're gonna have to do that. So I think now let's go ahead and just do our usual thing, open up real quick and just take a peek what's inside. So it looks like we just have 4 screws here. Let's go ahead and zip these off. Hopefully there's none under the actual rubber feet. A lot of times companies will do that. It's kind of like a anti-tamper thing. All right, so it looks like we basically have the back side of the motherboard, which you can see here. We have a 512 gig SSD, and right under that we actually have a Wi-Fi Bluetooth adapter. Here's our CMOS battery, and it looks like we just got to remove these screws now. As far as expansion on the back goes, it looks like there's basically none. Yeah, you can't fit any more NVMe's or anything. All right, so now the motherboard should just kind of fall out, but it doesn't always work like that. I think we're testing out its rigidity.
He's like, I've come too far, it is coming out.
God, dude, it's like, it's just wedged in there.
Oh, that sounded awful.
That is a beefy cooler.
Holy
now,
crap.
One thing I gotta be careful about is to not pull too hard, because I'm gonna pull off the Wi-Fi antennas like I always do, but holy crap, that takes up like the whole entire board, which just shows they really needed to cool this thing. What do you think? Do we just go the extra mile and take these off
Sure,
now?
why not? Just keep going.
I kind of like need to know what's under it, because like the RAM has to be under here, but like, you know, do we have one stick?
That's
do we
such
have
a
2?
huge heatsink. That's a cool design though, because if you can still upgrade the RAM and everything and they just like have that over top of it, I mean, you know, okay. Oh, all right, there you go. So you can't really do much of anything.
Oh, yeah. Wow, it's soldered RAM, I guess?
Did we miss it on the back?
No, because that's it's an M.2 right there, and then this is the NVMe.
So soldered RAM, that's different.
Huh, yeah, no, this is a really different design than what we're used to seeing. It almost seems like they've this is a bigger company, so I guess they've actually had their own board design, because, yeah, soldered CPU, soldered RAM, I can see right here, SK Hynix.
Yep.
So I wonder if it might actually be dual channel still technically, because I mean, there's 2 separate gigantic ICs there, so I don't know. That's my guess, is 2.8 DDR4. So let's go ahead and put this back on. The thermal paste application is actually pretty overkill, really, because there's the dies it's covering. So we should be good just to stick this back on and go ahead and get some games on it and test them.
Game? Let's talk about today's video sponsor, Amaze. Amaze hosts all sorts of one-of-a-kind giveaways and experiences, as well as using those funds to benefit the chosen charities all around the world. Today they wanted us to help promote their giveaway for one of America's most sought-after cars, the Tesla Model X Plaid. A A supercar may not be the first thing that comes to mind when you hear SUV, but that's exactly what you're receiving with this brand new Tesla Model X Plaid. Travel wherever you want with 1,020 horsepower at your fingertips and a range of 313 miles. Once you get in there, sit back, relax, watch the stars or a movie with its beautiful 17-inch ceramic display and glass panoramic roof. Whatever you're hoping to do, the Model X can most certainly do it. With capacity for 7 people, rear seat screen and wireless gaming, and full self-driving capability, this is certainly the car of your dreams. Their chosen charity for this giveaway is Give Power and 501c3. Give Power works to bring clean drinking water to 2.2 billion people without access to it through their solar-powered expertise, while 501c3 is at the intersection of innovation and storytelling, working to create a hopeful future focused on water, food, and shelter. For your chance to win the Model X Plaid and support a great cause, definitely check the link in the description down below, or head on over to amaze.com/toastybros for you to enter for your chance to win this beautiful car.
Alright guys, now that we have this mini PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about a couple benchmarks real quick. Now we decided to test this PC in a handful of titles, those being Apex Legends, Forza Horizon 5, Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection, and 3D Mark Firestrike. First up in Apex Legends, we started out at 720p with this one, mainly because it actually defaulted to 720p for some reason, and we're running all low settings, and I was surprised to see an average of 70 to 80 FPS. 720p might not be the best resolution for this little mini PC. Those Iris Xe graphics actually could play games at 1080p. As you can see, when we bumped back up to 1080p on Apex Legends, we got about 50 to 60 FPS, but I kind of underestimated how well these things actually perform. It does help that this thing comes with dual channel 16 gigs of memory. That always helps with these APU systems, and these graphics just seem to have improved since we've last taken a look at them. Now the drivers are still very wonky. When it comes to our capture card, it's really hard for the capture card to actually detect this system. The screen goes black a lot, we get a lot of disconnects, and another thing that happens and why we didn't test Fortnite is when you go full screen mode, it doesn't actually let you accept the full screen mode. It just stays on a black screen and then defaults back to borderless. So still some driver issues with these Iris Xe graphics, but the performance is definitely there. Next up in Forza Horizon 5 at 1080p on low settings using the built-in benchmark, we averaged 37 FPS. This is a game that if you did run at 720p, I'd imagine you get very close to 60 FPS, but it is a very graphically demanding game. The i7 in this system, as far as CPU power goes, is very awesome. It's going to be great for rendering and other CPU applications, and in these games when you're running on really low settings, you can really rely on the IPC of the CPU rather than the graphics, and you can get some pretty decent numbers, just like Apex Legends did at 720p low, and how games like CSGO, Valorant, and Fortnite would if you did run those games on this PC. Now, the next game we tested was Halo 3 in the Master Chief Collection. Very old game. We are running the higher res version that comes with the Master Chief Collection on PC, and we get a locked 60 FPS. If you're using this thing for office work and want to play some older games on this side, you'll have no problems getting a 60 FPS experience. That is the main thing with these mini PCs. If you have the proper expectations for them, whether you're using it for game streaming or just some other purpose other than just gaming, you'll be pleasantly surprised with the gaming that you can do on the side along with what it's already capable of. And the last thing we decided to test with this PC was 3D Mark Firestrike. Let us know down below if you want to see us continue using Firestrike throughout the benchmark run so you can compare with other PCs we've built on the channel. We ended up getting a score of 1,805 points. So overall, this mini PC impressed me. It performed very well. The build is really awesome, and Minisforum is one of the leading companies when it comes to these mini PCs, and I always look forward to see what kind of mini PC they bring to the market, and I really do think Intel has something cool here with the Iris Pro graphics, and I hope that they reiterate on these with their new CPU lineup coming to mobile soon. So yeah, check the link down below if you need to pick up this mini PC, but I think we should wrap this video up real quick. Let's bring Jackson back in.
Alright guys, so in conclusion, this little mini PC performs pretty well for the price. Now one thing you have to keep in mind is that this is kind of like a weird 11th gen with Iris graphics, so sometimes the drivers can be a little hit or miss. Some games don't really love them that much, sometimes they're a little bit hard to install, but if you can get past that and get the drivers installed fine, most games will perform really well, especially esports titles.
As a normal workstation PC with some light gaming on the side, it's absolutely perfect for that. So if you want to check this thing out, check the link in the description down below. Check out Minisforum's website, and special thanks again to them for sending this PC over. And we'll leave some other links down below to other mini PCs we like, so you can pick one up if you're interested in the mini PC market.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
And if you're always wondering, what do we do with the PCs when we're done? Like this little guy right here, well, Matt will explain exactly where they go, and it's pretty cool.
PCBros.tech is our PC selling business. It's like right behind this wall. You can go over there, you can buy computers from us, you can buy gaming PCs, gaming laptops, mini PCs, tablets, a bunch of stuff. And if you use code TOASTYBROS2 on checkout, you can save some moolah, 2% on any order over at PCBros.tech. See you guys later, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.